Good morning, friends! Over these past couple of Tour de Fleece vlogs, we have talked about the tools, about the dyes, but we have forgotten the one thing that comes before all of that, and that is the fiber. So for days 9, 10 and 11, we shall be talking about fiber. And I'm just going to start answering the first question already before we start spinning today. And the first question about fiber was, will I get more wool from my local farmer? And why yes, somewhere in the beginning of June, I think, Peter, the local farmer, texted me, you can come to the stables, there is more wool. So I went to the stables and got more wool. But I must admit, I think Peter was a little bit disappointed that I only got a small-ish bag of the Flemish sheep, and I think probably also mixed in with the Belgian milkshake, because I still have this monstrosity to work through, and I don't think a lifetime will be enough, but anyway, it's here. But the thing is, once people start to know that you spin, you get fleeces thrown at you from everywhere. Like what I just sat in front of is what I have been gifted this year. So lots of alpaca, as you can see. This is as well alpaca, 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 alpaca. And then also from Farmer Peter, some Suffolk. I'm quite actually excited to spin this, but then I also know there is so much Flemish sheep and Belgian milk sheep to be spun. And then from friends of my parents, just like the alpaca, that was also from friends of my parents. This is Wallese Schwarznase. I think probably more fit for felting than spinning, but anyway, I got it. And some Hampshire down, for which I'm also pretty excited. So much fiber. Now, let's get spinning. I want to start spinning. And then don't forget the Zwartbles fleece, the fleeces of Vic and Mieke, were also gifted to me. At the risk of sounding ungrateful, that's not a good thing. It's... do I want to be nagging about this already in the first minute of this vlog? Yeah, I kinda do. I mean, it's lovely that they gifted to me, but the premise is mostly either we gift it to you or it gets thrown away. And how can I say no to fiber that will otherwise be thrown away when especially the last two bags that you saw me carry in are first choice quality alpaca? Why are we no longer valuing the fiber? I mean, I talked about this before. The answer is always capitalism and harmful marketing. But this means that over time, my studio is about to just get transformed into a storage space for fibers that would otherwise be thrown away. And that should also not be the purpose of that studio. So I have been telling people no, or yeah, but only one bag. And you can just see the disappointment in their face, like, oh, I thought I'd finally found a purpose for my wool. And then I have to tell them, no, I am only just one person. I can't take it up all. I can't take up all the wool. I'm even seriously thinking about destashing a lot of the wool that I got last year. Because last year I wasn't as assertive to tell them no when they had 4 bags instead of 1. And now I haven't even spun 1. I should have picked a different first question for this vlog, shouldn't I? Feel a bit like a Debbie Downer. That's not how I want to start this vlog, but anyway, it is how I have started the vlog. But of course, there is a positive note to all this random fleeces I have gathered this year, and that is that over the next years, you will see me spin something else than Flemish sheep. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm quite particular to experiments. So I am looking forward to all the experiments that I can do with all the different fleeces and all the different fibers. First bobbin of our second skein. Boom. It is, however, 9 o'clock in the evening right now. I'm quite tired. I can't get out of words anymore. I'll just see you tomorrow. Monday, 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 Monday. Hi. Do you know that feeling? When one of your favorite YouTubers actually uses what you've said to them in their video? Yeah, I do too. This morning, while I was on the toilet, I know, too much information, I was watching Kathleen Illustrated's latest video. If you're into thrifting and alternatively styling your clothes, and I can highly recommend Kathleen's channel. And in the end, she says this.
I had no idea. Mijn Wolden says swooshy skirt and shoulders, like shoulder pads or puff sleeves, and I love the bravery. I'm such a puff sleeve girly myself. And the people who don't like them or don't like shoulder pads are just scared of their own power. There, I said it.
For which, of course, I was extremely excited. But also,
Mijn Wolden.
Very sorry, Kathleen, don't take this personally. But I'm going to teach you all a little bit of a lesson in Dutch right now. And I know I have put this on myself by naming a Dutch channel name in a world where the lingua franca is actually English. I have talked about this in a previous video, but since that video is approximately 1,000 new people have tuned in on my channel, so maybe it is worth repeating that my channel name is pronounced Mijn Wolden, and it is Dutch for my Wolden, which is a play on Henry Thoreau's My Walden and wool, because wool is my Walden. I get so much enjoyment, peace, relaxation from playing around with wool, actually just from touching wool. And this brings us neatly to today's question for today's vlog. And that question was, what is my favorite long wool, my favorite short wool breed? And honestly, I don't know. I have up until now spun Flemish sheep, Belgian milk sheep, Ouessant, Tesselaar, Zwartbles, of course, Dutch spotted sheep, mystery fleece, and I think that's about it. None of them are particularly long wools or short wools or anything. They're actually all medium wools. No, I am mistaken. I am mistaken. I did spin one long wool. Let's go to my sample tree and I'll show you. Go into the tree, go into the sample tree. This one over here is Leicester long wool. and it was a freebie in a Etsy package that I ordered on Anita Yarns. Can I now say that Leicester long wool is my favorite long wool? Well, probably, because it's the only one I have ever spun and it was a nice spin. I spun this one actually on a dice challenge. I let a dice decide how I would spin it. If you're interested in seeing that, let's put it back where it came from. So this is today's Tour de Fleece, day 10's progress. Not a groundbreaking amount of fleece, or well, yarn actually, but good enough. And well, tomorrow it is a holiday here in Belgium. It's the, can we call it a national holiday? It's not, because it's only for the Flemish part and not everyone has it either. But I have it, I have a holiday, so I can get an entire day of spinning in, I hope. I'll see you tomorrow. Hola. So as I said yesterday, my dear friends, today is a holiday here in Flanders. And I get the entire day to spin. How nice! Now it's a bit of a weird holiday because we remember the Battle of the Golden Spurs in 1302, 11th of July 1302, where the Flemish beat the French. Now that all sounds fine and mighty and dandy, but I mean, yeah, we won the battle, but we lost the war, so a bit of a weird thing to commemorate. Also, in 19th century nationalism, it became like a thing of the Flemish, as in the language, beat the French, as in the language, which is a bit harmful because the southern part of Belgium speaks French. And also, the Flemish is a bit of a weird word because Flanders back then was a really small part, and the part where I am living right now was the Duchy of Loon, and where I grew up was the Duchy of Brabant. We had not much to do with the Battle of the Golden Spurs, but we still celebrated. I'm of course not mad to get an extra entire day of spinning. Not mad at all. Oh! Bird, are you okay? Are you okay? Can I get you something? Maybe a little bit of water. I'll try to give you some water. Oh, don't. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. If you can jump that high, you're okay. Anyway, there is Waterbird. We can finally see, feel, touch the bottom of this box. It's finally looking like I'm making progress, like I'm making a dent in this massive, massive, massive fleece. Now, speaking of this exact fleece, I received a video of the sheep being sheared, being shorn, getting a haircut. I'm not going to withhold it from you because it is way too cute. Here we go. We have been talking a lot about sheep these last 2 days. Now, for today's question, let's talk about something else. So yeah, one of you, or maybe multiple of you, wanted to know what my favorite fiber besides sheep wool was, and well, I'm going to discount spinning my own hair from this, but I only have experience with alpaca and angora and the fur of my own dog. And while alpaca and angora are of course yarn-wise, fiber-wise, super soft, very luxurious, and all the nice fancy things that you want, there is something extra special about spinning the fur of your own dog. It's something emotional, a connection that you have knowing that it is your dog and then having yarn from your dog. I don't know if my answer makes sense, but that's what I felt. Like, yarn-wise, alpaca and angora of course win from the chiengora that I made, but emotionally, meaty-vloef, sitka-vloef, then that's my favorite fiber next to sheep's wool. And since today is also the last day, I'll be filming for this specific vlog, which will be themed all around fiber. You could sort of call it my fiber diaries. One other question was, did I ever experiment with flax yet? And the answer is no, I haven't. I might in the future, but I'm also really eyeing the stinging nettles that are in my garden and some of the hop, because I know both of them are high on fiber. So maybe in the future, experiments with either or both of those. So, question for you all in the comments: what's your favorite fiber? What is your preferred fiber to spin? Do you have a tactile story or maybe an emotional story about, let's say, the fiber of your dog, the fiber of your bunny, the fiber of your goats? Let me know. I still want to know all the things. Let's continue spinning, because that's what we're here for, aren't we? Ah, the sun is hot. I think that's a holiday well spent, because apart from the little bit I did yesterday, I actually spun up the entire bobbin in one day. I do feel a little bit discomfort in my hand right now, so as I have warned in my first vlog, I am going to stop now, because you do not spin through the pain or through the discomfort, because that will only make it worse, and I want to start plying tomorrow, so that's my priority right now. Now, you know the drill. Before I leave you, here are some pictures of what my patrons have been doing the past 3 days. And all that rests for me to say for this vlog is, if you want to join the fun on Discord, you can become a patron as well. Link is in the description, but of course, no pressure. And if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is up to you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!